So this is actually urgent, but you watching this video will probably put you in a good position to prepare, because we do have some moving parts in the financial sector, we have some pieces coming together in the big puzzle, and now we can kind of forecast or predict or to know what to expect in the next maybe 6 months. It is the end of the year. As we know, January usually is a big market decider. Let's see whether we are going up or down. And if it decides, if the market decides, if we will have some new plans, let's say, from the financial sector, we can know what to expect from crypto. Now, you are probably watching me and thinking about what are you talking about, because nothing has changed. However, behind the curtain, lots of things are changing at the moment. And let me show you the signs which we all can witness. They are out in the air and we just don't see them. Let's start with Bitcoin. As you can see, Bitcoin is not struggling. It wants to pump, it wants to go up. We have this nice support which is driving the price up. We just had a jump from 16,000 something to 17,254, where we are standing right now, and everyone is expecting Bitcoin to go in a relief rally. Will that happen? Very probable. Why it will happen? That is a bit more difficult to explain. However, I will attempt to do that. Before I do that, let's check the S&P 500. Because as you see, the S&P 500, it is in a clear downtrend since January. I drew these lines somewhere in June, I think, and I wasn't believing what I see, because I thought that this either is a clear downtrend, or if we want to draw it like this, it's a big sign that something big will happen, some big crash will happen in the market, which possibly will drag down the whole crypto market as well. Many people think that the crypto market is not back to the financial system, is not back to the stock market, but I think it is, 100%. Anything happens on the stock market, any big thing, let's say, and usually that big thing is a crash, drags down the Bitcoins and every other crypto's price even more. So as you can see, I was hoping that I don't have to make this video, because I was expecting a breakout here. Since the Fed announced 2 weeks ago that they are not going to be as hawkish as they said before, and they will just moderate the rate hikes in the future, I mean in December, the upcoming one, which is next week, by the way, we will talk about that as well in a second. I was thinking that we can witness a relief rally. We saw that on the stock market, we saw that on the indexes, on the ETFs, on gold's price. However, that didn't happen for Bitcoin. Why? Well, obviously the black swan event, the FTX crash. So here is my thesis about what is going to happen. I think S&P 500 will not will not rally. S&P 500 will follow the path, will follow the downtrend, and if we reach this 3,500 something, then we will witness some bloodbath on the street. We will witness some big dumps on the stock market, and I think probably more and more layoffs from big companies will occur. Why? Because they will want to save the profits. Now the inflation is very high. Employees demand higher pays, which is obviously a fair way to compensate them, because the inflation, the 20% inflation or the 30 or 40% inflation, which is the real one, okay? It's not the one which is communicated, where every asset, every product's price increase is accounted for. If you check only energy and food, I think 20, 30, 40% is the realistic one. It puts the companies in a very difficult position, because what is the company's first priority? Is to stay in business. How to stay in business? Well, they can keep their employees and they can give out the money from profits. That will not make the shareholders happy, obviously. So they will have to decrease the dividends. If they decrease the dividends, then they will not bring new investors in, because the market is in a recession. We are in a downtrend. So why people would put money in a company which is decreasing its dividends? So they can keep the payouts for the shareholders in two ways. One is they decrease the staff, but that questions whether they can keep up the productivity. Can they keep up delivering the products which generates the money? The other way is taking some debt. Taking debt is a bit more complicated nowadays, because the rates are much higher. As I said before, the Fed is increasing the rates. Now, don't be fooled about the Fed's moderate or mild rate hikes in this quarter. It doesn't mean that they will not increase it. It means that they will not increase it by 0.75. They will probably increase it by 0.5. They still increase it, meaning that all the credits increase will also increase. And this has a very important effect on which companies should we invest in the future. Because right now I am mostly in cash. And at the end of the video, I will tell you which companies, which industries I'm looking at, because if this crash, which I am predicting here and expecting happens, I will go almost full into these companies. It won't be only crypto. I don't think it's wise to go all in on crypto. However, a significant chunk of my portfolio will be in crypto. Why? Because I don't have enough money to go with the lowest risk and lowest opportunity. I need to risk, and I think many of you are in the same position. So what is the actual urgent part of this video? Well, it's this one. However, we are looking at a very bearish outlook, let's say, in the financial market, in stock market indexes and everything else, and I do expect a big crash because of real estate. They are not building anymore a lot of houses because they don't have demand. People can't take mortgages, and by people not getting mortgages, it means that they also don't pay in their money, their savings. Therefore, there is less and less money in circulation, which eventually will push the money's value up. In the meantime, if the fiat money's value is going up, the assets values will go down. However, there is a time frame, a short one, probably in the next 2-3 weeks. I think until Christmas or until the end of the year, when we can be bullish in crypto. And that is because of FTX. You see, when 2 weeks ago, the Fed announced that they will not be as hawkish as they planned to be, everything started to rally. The stocks were going up. Some companies reported plus 10, 15, 20% jump. And obviously that was a very good day for the stock market. In crypto, we did not see that jump. Gold outperformed Bitcoin in a bullish season or in a bullish week, which is not only rare, but is almost impossible since gold only has like 1 or 2% rallies, let's say, if you can call them rallies. So why am I bullish for this last part of the year? The FTX event, the FTX effect, that was a black swan event, and that was contained in crypto. Only the crypto world suffered it. And since the stocks went up and it didn't drag up the crypto or Bitcoin prices, let's say, or the market, we can consider Bitcoin and crypto right now undervalued. Because since it crashed because of an artificial event, right now the price wants to go back to its original level, where it actually should be. And I think that is somewhere around the 20K. I know it sounds a bit bullish, but this is what I think. If next week, and remember that it's next week Wednesday when the FOMC meeting will be released, and the Fed will say that, okay, we increase the rate hikes by 0.5% only because we do want to help the economy a bit. And by economy, I mean BlackRock, because let's keep in mind that BlackRock reported 3 weeks ago that they just went below the 8 trillion asset value in total. And after that, Jerome Powell said that, okay, we will help the economy. So obviously it is good to lend money out to governments because it will bring you some favors. I do think that Bitcoin will have some kind of a jump, some rally, and we can see it on the chart as well. As you can see, we are in this uptrend. It is clear for me. On the 4 hours, we are at the 21 simple moving average. And if the price doesn't break lower than 16,700, the head and shoulders effect or head and shoulders bearish sign will be dismissed. Therefore, it will give enough room for Bitcoin to jump from here to somewhere here. So what happens after that? After Christmas, after everyone just comes back, after the money spending stops, because let's not forget that the money spending is the engine of the economy. December, it's the money spending season. Everyone is buying something, everyone is spending money, everyone is buying gifts, they are buying cars, they just blow off the steam. However, in January, that is when the tightening starts, because that is when everyone gets back to work, the holidays are over, and the Fed will probably say that, hey guys, the party is over, it was nice, we had a very nice end of the year, but right now we have to step on the gas pedal again. We need to reduce the spending, we need to have to increase the value of the dollar, and we need to push the economy down. And I think that will be the part when the S&P 500, the stock market, and with it, crypto will start and find its new and hopefully final bottom. And how long it will happen? Well, probably until the middle of next year. That is my expectation. Because the Fed, as you can see here, is increasing the rate hikes right now. We are already above the 2019. So what we are looking for is this. When they stop, when they just keep it a quarter or two, and they will start to help the economy. Now, I will not lie to you. By the time we get here, in this period of time, the economy will be so shit and everything will be so low that it will be a very brave thing to buy in. But that is why we are saving our money. That is where our money will start again to lose its value. Because until then, when everything is going down, our fiat money's value is going up. And if we don't act then we will just see this cycle of valuation and devaluation of our money. So the final question, and maybe the most important, when we get to that point, when we see the bloodbath, when we say that, okay, this is the point where we need to buy in because this is a good opportunity and we can take the risks, in what should we invest? And I think that is the $1 million question. I will tell you in what I will invest and what are the criteria, let's say, for a company in order for me to put some money to buy some of their shares. Now, in a recession when nobody is buying shit, they will still need some things. For example, they need heat, they will need electricity, they will need food, and obviously the agriculture, for example, needs to continue. If the agriculture needs to continue, obviously the companies which provide devices, machineries to these industries will also need to produce, and they will continue to sell. Therefore, I think the criteria first is that the company needs to be in some of these industries which provide basic products and services to the people which they need in order to live, right? Toilet papers, for example. I don't think the product will have a decreased supply or decreased demand. I will not search for toilet paper companies, but I will search for energy companies. Now, this can also be a trap because some of the energy companies, they give out lots of dividends. Some of them give out 10-15% per year in dividends, which obviously sounds good because if you invest $1,000 in 1 year, you will get $150 in dividends. And if the share price is going up, that is an extra profit for you. However, we need to be very vigilant at this point because some companies will give out bigger dividends, a bigger percentage, in order to draw in new investors, in order to motivate people to invest in their shares, to buy their shares. So what they can do for that? Well, if they don't have cash, and that is the most dangerous, if they don't have cash, they will probably take up some credits. If they take up some credits in order to pay their shareholders, that will mean that they will get into more and more debt because they will be waiting for the better times, let's say. If the better times don't come in time, well, they are in deep shit because their liabilities will just increase. They will need to sell some assets, for example, and they will be dragged down lower and lower in this spiral. Now, if these good times come in time, let's say, but they are already in this spiral, the problem is that it will take much more time in order to get back on their feet. Now, here is the thing. Very often, the company's shares, the price of the share, doesn't correlate to the company's profitability. Therefore, look at Tesla. They don't make much money. However, their share price is high because everybody wants it. It's hype. It's trending. Now, if a company is in a bad state and they cannot draw in new investors and people start to sell their shares, obviously that will plummet the share price. I'm not saying that that's a bad opportunity or that doesn't create a good opportunity for people to buy in, but that is already in the next cycle. That is far away. That is already after the recession. So what we need to look at right now, at this moment, at that moment, the upcoming one probably, which is the bloodbath, which is the bottom, is that is this company in a state to pay their shareholders? Are they in the appropriate industry to make money month by month in order to keep a cash positive state, let's say? So that is what we need to check. And if there is a demand and you want to know it, maybe in the next video we can go through how to check these companies. And as for crypto, we need to check this, okay? If this starts, then it is as good opportunity for crypto as it is for companies. So I know that many people are here interested only in EGLD or in Bitcoin or in Ethereum, but we need to know this part in order to be able to make a good decision on the crypto side. Because if you have a fake pump in crypto, but the market is still going down, then we can lose a lot in crypto as the volatility is much higher. Hope you like this content. If you did, press the subscribe button, and I see you in the next one.